It's a little crowded in here today.
Got a lot going on. Welcome back. It's Monday. So just a couple days of inactivity in here. I had to blow the whole place out again. Look at this. This sheet metal was just from sitting. Come on.
Yeah, it's a pretty intense windstorm.
Yeah. So dune buggy's still sitting. That happened yesterday. We decided to take it easy for the afternoon. But the last image on the Cadillac showed the rear and what changed from the work while we were filming. So to follow up on that, what I did was cut the bottom off of this because that wasn't hanging the way I was hoping. The rear that Victor showed me was this kind of shape, right? So I took this flat bar as an idea gauge and I squared it to the rear of the fenders. It's probably not square right now because I kicked it. But then I made these two hoops out of 1-inch round tube and just attached them to the Cadillac part of the body just to hold it. You know, that's a jig at this point. That'll get cut out from underneath as well. But you can see this will be the bottom of the roll pan here. One panel will come up to here and the other one will come to here. And how I arrived at that placement, right? You're coming down like that. Can you dig it? So this will be a two-piece roll pan. It'll hit here and do a quick tight radius down to the other one. So we're going to cut two pieces of sheet metal, approximately 27 times 2. Yeah, we'll do it 54. The top one will be about 54 by 7. And then for the bottom, we'll do 54 by 6. Yeah. Any questions?
None.
So this will be another English wheel event. These are not even close to being fit in. So I decided it'll be number 1 panel in transition, 2, 3 for the back, and then 4, 5. So we'll kind of wrap it right up and over and then tuck in the sides. So what did I say? 54. Grab a marker. Set it up on this clean piece of steel and begin. We got 54. 54. These are just loose measurements because I'm making them bigger than they're going to end up. So we got 1 at 6, then 6 plus 7 is 13. So we'll go 6 and 13. The reason I laid it out with a mark in the middle is because my straight edge isn't long enough. Cool. I'm going to get the cutting disc and liberate those from the sheet. We got our 2 pieces of sheet right here. We're going to get to work.
What?
Didn't get the joke?
No.
All right, so I got my piece of sheet.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to start working. Come on with the dad jokes. This is a real piece of sheet metal.
I don't get it.
Forget it.
It's over my head.
Cold room. Cold room in here. It's okay, I know the editor. She can insert that little giggle. All right, so now that I don't need this anymore, we're going to slide it away. So, just like when we laid out those fender pieces, the flat piece of sheet doesn't really hold that much style factor now, does it?
No.
It's very generic. So what I'm envisioning is sort of like we created that, you know, not necessarily rainbow, but you know, that curve shape. We're going to try to work this panel here so that it follows. If you look at this here, the straight piece, when it's pushed in, look, it's got all that room. So we're going to attempt to leave this in place, and we're going to attempt to shrink. We're going to try to draw the sides in to create that sort of noodle shape. So I'm going to start off with the shrinker, which I've set up over here.
I had to remember what the shrinker was. It's like now like a pop quiz in my head. When you say where we're gonna go, I'm like,
It's one of those tools that mainly lives under the bench.
which tool is it?
This one. The
This
little
one.
muncher tool. Hopefully this won't be as dramatic as the last time we used it when I almost knocked it off the vise and then proceeded to lose pieces of it and the handle. I think we're good to go. So I'm just going to roughly guesstimate the center, and I'm just going to begin like that. That was a lot of motion just in one little shrink. So a couple people mentioned when I was using the English wheel, they're like, yeah, I've seen guys beat that piece of steel, seen them beat that piece of sheet with a hammer and pucker it all up and then smooth it with the English wheel. So, you know, we're doing almost the same thing. I'm going to turn this vise a little bit. There we go. So we're getting some curve. So you see this is really over pushing it. But that's where the little hand jive comes in. Talked about last time. We're getting a real shrink on the edge. Pulling it in pretty massively, which is cool. Right? Almost looks like a trailer fender. But if I put this on the ground, it's going to lay right out. So let's put this up against the car. Right? It's one heck of a shrink. But it's this easy. Set right back in the shape. I really fudged that up, didn't I? Let's just try to do that. All right, so somewhere in the ballpark with a little bit of curvature. Yeah. So there's a lot of stress right here. I'm going to put that in the wheel right here and start to work. The wheel has the power to turn this right back to perfectly flat, but I'm going to utilize the stress in that edge. Just try to push that center out. All right, so I'm going to set this right into the center. And I'm going to try to, again, work sort of in this arch shape. Pushing this to the, and yeah, this is going to bring it up to the bulge. I want to do it backwards. So see, it's already taken that weird little deformity out of it. Someone mentioned some stuff about the coach building profession and how they always start with a very meticulous form, a buck or something to start with. They have an end result. And here, this is just eyeballing it. Our only points of reference are the top and bottom tube, so kind of free to do what we want in between, which works out great for a guy like me. No rules. Let's see how it's getting rid of all those weird kinks. but it's still leaving that pinched stress in the edge. And yeah, don't put your hands in that tool. Oops, don't run it off of the machine. All right, so we achieved two things. We put some crown in it, and we took a lot of that arch off of it. It was really coiled up before. Let's see where we're at. Yeah. Look at that. It's got some style.
Yeah, it does.
A lot of tension too, which is awesome. Yeah.
Were you expecting that?
Do I look like a man that knows what I'm doing? Was I expecting it? Of course I was. Of course. This is exactly.
Naturally.
Naturally. So we want a little more curve in there? That looks pretty curvy, but I think we could take it in a little bit more. Yeah, I love the bottom. That fits. Let's try to work a little more curve right through the top half of this. Shall we? Was I expecting? How dare you?
Well, I just think it's cool that you are working on the English wheel once again.
Yeah. Someone said I need to have a cup of tea while English wheeling. They also said that it was invented by the French.
Oh, really?
Hey, you know, the internet.
You didn't fact check it though.
The internet doesn't lie. Sounded plausible.
Thanks for everybody tuning in to our live on Sunday.
Sorry to bore you with Pound Puppy Hour.
If you haven't checked it out, you should. It's pretty fun. Because we didn't do anything that we thought we were going to do.
We got totally dog blocked. Yeah, these long pieces are a bit challenging. But I'm happy. You know, remember I mentioned that it shines up as you're getting really into it? It's doing that. It comes to that point where you can feel it really just, I don't know if it grips the steel, but something happens and it starts to look really nice. All right.
You might become a coach builder after all.
I ain't that high class, baby.
You never know.
Talking about a different guy. I'll be making bonnets for Jaguars pretty soon. Oh no, I'm sorry, it's Jaguar. That's what it is, you know. Because I'm all cultured.
I just say Jaguar.
Quagmire.
I'm from the Midwest.
All right. You know, see that look of confidence as I'm pulling it? I mean, that's a pro right there. All right. I'm
Back
feeling
to the
it.
car. Oh.
I think so. I think I could live with this. It's within an inch and a half. That's quite smooth. There's some tool marks, but I'm not the guy that's going to get a mirror finish out of this. Not on this low panel. It's somewhat irrelevant with eyesight. It's right on the ground. That's why I started with this one first.
Good plan.
Really curved it. I hope you can still use this thing. Wow. Oh, look at that. Talk about tension among the ranks. I like it. Yeah. Yes, indeed, indeed. So that's cool. But see how that's not hitting the tube down there? We might have to use a larger piece. We transmute this to up here. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, maybe we'll use this one up here. Have to flatten that out a bit. This is the shrunk edge side. I mean, it's definitely curved, but nowhere near what the bottom's requiring. What I'm getting at is, if I have to cut the center of this to push it down, I'm going to lose the tube right here. See, I'm kind of at the optimal welding position as I sink that in. Oh no, look, it just, there's a lot of tension in this thing. Try to get some of that stress out of there. You see, that's a pretty good amount of bulge in that panel. Oh look, now it's starting to fit. I like this. Okay. So I'm looking at this panel. Now I'm going to take this marker. Marker on the inside. That's another trick I just invented. So see how it's going to want to do this to get those to come down. So let's give that a try. I mean, that was pretty simple to create. If it doesn't work, I'm just going to flip this up to here because there's plenty of steel to work with for the top. So yeah, let me get the cutters. I'll just do this with the hand snips.
That's crazy how that curled like that.
I have these pneumatic ones, and you could run it down a whole sheet, and it makes a perfect coil. And I made Christmas tree decorations out of these one year.
I believe it.
Out of aluminum. They make great earrings too.
Ooh la la.
Yep, look at that.
Dang.
Your mom's gonna be so proud of me. Her son-in-law, the coach builder.
She watches every video and she comments now.
Look at that, baby. Get a couple clamps on here. I'm just kind of envisioning where the center is here. Yeah, that looks good. Ready for the clamp to pop off? Got away with it. That looks pretty round, huh? How's that look to you?
I'm impressed.
Ladies, gentlemen of the jury?
That looks really good. You passed the pre-test on the English wheel.
Passed my first level of the MC test.
Yep.
All right, it's kind of windy. Let's put some tack welds in here. See if we can't get away with it. It's always windy in this shop. So let's think about this. We've come this far. Wouldn't it behoove us to just try to pull that panel out a little bit more? Because it feels good, but what if it was gooder? See what I'm saying? It's like, what if this actually had more roundness in it? What do you think?
Like roundness where it's curved up?
More belly here, like this came out more.
Well, because the picture that you did show
Yes.
of the of Victor's car, or the picture he showed you or whatever with that rear end, it was definitely rounder.
We're on the same page. You're very, very much on the same page.
Dang, you're ready for welding.
That's me. I'm just like that. It's like, I'm feeling it. Let's get married. I mean, let's build this. Because now we've got some real rigidity in this panel. So let's try to just really work up the center. Because we can. That's what this tool does. Hopefully we don't deform it. But we're going to find out, aren't we? Really just working on the center here. Ooh, without going off track. I went off track. Look at that.
Yeah.
That's how we can recover. Definitely rising up because I'm seeing some action puckering up here. That's how you know it's changing. I don't know if you're supposed to do this, but it works for me. Obviously, the best thing would be to be ambidextrous in this pursuit, but that's not me. I could barely do a switch foot skateboard move, let alone this. That's pretty curved now. I don't know how to expect more out of this without shrinking down the edges and turning it into a bigger, tighter noodle curve. And I guess we could kind of try this, but I don't know. Seems a little risky. Maybe just do a million little one of these. Is that flattening it, or? Let's see, no matter what. Could have been a bad call, sir. Oh no, there we go. I mentioned that the other day, like the parallel parking thing, where you're just kind of moving along, keeping it reasonably parallel. Because when Bill had me testing on this, he had me do like this cross-hatching thing, and then I flipped the panel over and made it flat again.
I remember that.
It's quite the event.
You were very excited. I think you showed me again. I did.
I was so excited I showed you my piece of sheet. Oh. You're not supposed to do that, or this. Ooh.
Come on now, patience is a virtue.
That's my middle name, right along with subtle. Ooh. If I loosen up the pressure a little bit, that's helping it glide out some of those marks. That's cool. Man, this is definitely taking some form. See what that looks like. We didn't mess it up too much. How much curve we put in that? It really went overboard on that. Nice.
Did you get a little too excited?
What's the most common mistake beginners make?
Second guessing themselves.
And being overzealous. I think I might get away with it. Yeah. Now that you made your best guesstimate on that, you want to talk about the prices, right?
So, well, we have to, let's preface that first.
So, you got a couple choices. Oh no! Oh man, we're in heat. We're in deep now.
Did you lose at the Showcase Showdown?
Oh, I think I did. I think I can still grip it. That's way curveder. But that's about as maxed out as I can put that curve. It's not going to fit back on. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, we don't really have time for joking right now, unfortunately.
We'll hold off on our Price is Right talk.
So check this out with the camera if you can. Can you see down there where you can clearly see the cement and the steel not connecting?
Yes.
So see, I got to push that up against it because I'm going to try to weld right here.
Mm.
So I'm going to get a piece of wood and try to push it in and hold it to the floor and like get that so I can tack it. We're going to work the bottom in first because that is as crowded. I mean, all right. We're going to do this carpet layer style. You get that reference?
No.
So when you're laying carpets, they have these tools. You kind of kneel on it, and it grips the carpet, and you stretch the carpet into shape like that. So I'm pushing the steel up against where I need it to be.
Right.
There it is. I just heard it. All right, that's good enough for now. Enough to cut this edge off here. So I'm just going to weld the center up so we don't lose anything. Right here, I'm going to have to take the grinder and relieve that. So I'll go to the other side, get about the same degree of weldness. Really dented this thing. Put that piece of wood in there and dented it pretty good. You get a hammer and take that out inside. All right, I get that cutter, grinder. looks pretty curvy.
Looks really good.
Is the camera really picking up this bad spot?
Which spot?
You see that dent? Hammered
No.
that piece of freaking wood in there. Dented it. Amateur. Well, you know what I think we're gonna have to do?
What?
Later, this whole deck will be hinged and removable. I'm gonna have to get in there and do that dent repair. What a bummer.
So close.
Man, just when I was on a roll. Well, let's make the top piece and see what happens. But the curve, the overall shape is good. Just got one giant dent in the center, no problem there. Maybe I can. Oh, that helped. There it is. All right, much closer. Always so. It's the name of the game, though, right? Pushing it right to the brink of failure and over the edge. All right, let's mess around with that other sheet. I think we're going to follow the same formula. Shrink it a little bit. That was a little dramatic on the shrink, so I think I'm going to lessen the amount of pressure I used, knowing what we achieved the first time. All right, so this panel is 7 inches as opposed to 6. So I'm going to be a little less aggressive with the shrink too. That last time I really pulled it. Just putting a dimple in it instead of like really moving it. Let's look at this on the car and see what our decisions are going to be. So the Cadillac is reasonably flat in comparison. See, this was a total free-form thing. See, already it's starting to do that buckle up. Like a little over the mark already. There it is right there. Sweet. So see, we don't want to do a heck of a lot of curving towards the Cadillac side. That's almost good. We just want to transition into this a bit better. So put it through the halfway point and work it towards that crimped edge. So in other words, I'm not even going to wheel on this half of the panel. Just from the crimp towards the center. I think I'm going to do a half and half like this. Because this one is right up in your face, and you're going to see every bit of it. Got that half, so we got it started. Now let's put some stress to it. Now let's try to just draw this down. Like we were describing with that sort of a bit of a rainbow curve. Let's see where we're going with this before we get in too deep.
I think that's a great idea, Bob.
Thank you for your support. So Jamie and I have been on a bit of a Price is Right binge watching in the evening, and it's become quite exciting.
It's on Roku Live channel.
Yeah,
It's
you gotta check it
hilarious.
out. It's freaking hilarious.
Some of the prize packages, like, dang, I'm jelly.
They had like a real 1980s style sandrail as a prize. It was like Funko or some, not Funko, that's too old. But it's definitely one of those. Who made the, what the heck was it? I had one here. Names elude me. But yeah, it was like a real live, you know,
It was
It
blue.
was a dune buggy,
A pinball
a
machine.
pinball machine, and a soda fountain.
And she won.
She won.
And so from watching The Price is Right, I've learned about the Mustang 2.
Yeah, they've given away Mustang 2s. California emissions compliant, of course.
California emissions compliant, yes.
They gave away a Chevette.
Chevy Chevettes.
The Pontiac version of the Chevette, whatever that's called. It looked just like a Chevette, but it was a Pontiac. They gave away a Fiero.
Yep. They tried to give away a Corvette, but they did not
They
win.
didn't win. I would love to hear what people in other countries, if they know about The Price is Right. Because here in the U.S., that was like on every day. That was like almost like, I don't know what to say. It was just every day. It was like more apparent than like the weather forecast.
Yeah. We're totally reliving our childhood watching The Price is
And it's
Right.
hilarious to see the fashion, the people's attitude. Bob Barker was just a ruthless overlord. He just owned the stage.
He did.
He's like, step right over here, and now it's time to play. Yes, he directed with an efficiency and an iron microphone.
That he did.
All
But
right.
just it was so like gimmicky and like the whole thing is just
Well, the quality of the props they had too for the games, it's so many games, and I was like, whoa, this is like Disneyland up in here.
I think out of all the episodes we've watched, we've only seen a couple games repeat
Yeah.
because there's just that many.
And the people are just stoked.
I haven't seen what is the one, the Plinko, like when they drop it.
There's so many, right?
chips.
Yeah.
We haven't seen that one. Exciting time here at the Roussel Ranch.
That's what we do. Keep it fresh, keep it bold. All right, look, I'm maxing out.
Ooh.
It's exactly what we experienced on the other one. It's getting hard to handle. Wonder if we wouldn't put this one underneath just to offer that Cadillac some action. There's something in there. Oh, there it is. This is one of the reasons I was getting really frustrated on some prior episodes, is because the shop is eternally filthy. And I'm trying to do some nice work on this floor. It's seemingly uncleanable because the wind blows through so much. I think we're gonna get this. I think by putting it under, it's gonna, the stress of it's gonna lift that Cadillac instead of trying to squish it down. Yeah, I like this. Okay. This is really curvy. That, oh, look, the tack weld came off. There's the issue. I was like, something's different here. I don't know if that affects us. I'm gonna take the grinder and clean up. There's some tar board and stuff under. All right, let's see where we're at once again. Definitely got some stress in it. Can't argue there. Oh, look at that. That is very pleasing to me. Yeah. Yes, we can work with this.
And now what? What do you need? Do you need help?
Oh, man. Would you turn on the welder, please? I don't want to lose this. Just hand me the torch. If I can just get one weld on here, we win. That looks pretty good. That is definitely a nice round shape. Wow, I like that a lot. All right, I got a decent hold on the center here. So I'm gonna try to join this and then we'll trim out the edges and be done. I think I wanna probably put a little handle on this and try to draw it out and then screw this together because you can see it's kind of doing a waterfall. I wanna pull this right out to where it's even. I just made this little piece of round stock. I'm gonna make a handle. If I could pull that out, I'll just pinch that off.
What happened?
Oh, the wind just blew through and just totally messed with the weld. But see, I'm able to pull that out. Now it's trapped. It's good to go. Now that I'm done with this, just pop it off and sand that tack weld off. Yeah. Scribe this, cut it back, and pull it up. Look at roughly that. A little more. I don't want to warp this or heat it up weird, so it's good for now. I'm going to step to the other side. Little area that I can't clamp. It's too deep. I'm just going to put this in. See the space? The Cadillac is up and this is down, so pull them together. Ah. Move. Weld that hole shut. I'm feeling that now.
I'm impressed. Like, it looks really, really good.
Yeah, flows right in, nice. Now this is going to open up, but that's a whole different story. But we're not going to lose that shape. That's the best part about this. I have some ideas and I'm going to talk to Victor. We could even make like a round portal opening, which would be pretty freaking sweet, but this is the basic shape of the car, right? This might be coming down a bit, but that's as simple as what I was doing before. I'll slice through, let it come together a little bit. See how I split this open? So we'll just take that solid rod as I was mentioning, but as you push this down, see, it's pretty forgiving. So that's kind of what we're up to at this point. I don't know, maybe we'll work on this next episode. Maybe we'll do something else. See where the mood brings us. Come on back now, you hear?